Putting a dip in your hip, a glide in your stride. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe, with shows throughout the week. Everything you want, everything you could need. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from the spiritual to the unknown, from emotions to comedy. You can find us at Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so much more. This is Rift Nation Network, the RNN. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
This is the sensitive, offensive content disclaimer for the Rift Nation Network. Please note that this podcast may contain material that some listeners do find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violent, explicit language or controversial subjects. Triggering content, including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues. Explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. Well, we aim to handle these topics, and I always have to do this. I got to remember that I can't put this up till I finish the disclaimer. All right, hold on. Here we go. So while we aim to actually handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage the listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content disturbing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please contact a qualified expert. Welcome.
Hey!
Welcome everybody. How we doing out there today? So let's see. Don't forget, sharing is caring. Welcome to Rift Nation Network presents Beacon in the Dark. Today, and again, I'm Sue.
I'm Marcy.
She's Marcy. I'm Sue.
You know what, Sue?
My hands are, look at me with these pigtails today.
It's okay. You know what I noticed?
What?
It's like when you did the Rift Network for our signature thing, the light's going funky on me. You spelled my name Marci.
Yeah, Marcy.
No, it's M-A. The way you spell it,
Yeah.
it's M-A-C-R-I. It's spelled as Macri.
Oh, wow. Guess I forgot a letter.
No, you got it backwards between the R and the C.
I'm dyslexic. I
I
really am.
understand.
I am dyslexic. So, welcome, guys. Welcome to another episode. Hopefully, you're looking forward to this as much as we are. And don't forget to share. Sharing is caring. The much more as you share, the more people we can actually help. And this, of course, is a wonderful topic. And I had kind of like an epiphany.
Another one?
Yes. So this topic has a lot to do with destination success. Okay. So what it is, a lot of times we as individuals will have what is known as mental blocks. We will mentally block ourselves from success.
Hey, Susan,
Yes.
before we go on to, because, I always talk about my journeys and, I type with you on that. And I found out I'm hypothyroid, which is a low energy. So when
Yep.
I read on the healing of it through this journey of all these people screwing me over, it has to do with mistrust. And so, because I'm wondering why am I getting all these different sicknesses on all these different things? And also, as far as energy, you thought I had lost weight. And a lot of people said that. When I
Mm-hmm.
went to the doctors, I actually gained a pound. But what people sense is the energy loss. And so they think
That
that
makes
there's
sense.
something,
Right.
new haircut. They can't pinpoint it, but it's like our bodies exchange that information, or
Right.
we sense or we hear at certain levels, or
Could
we
it
see.
be that your body is now processing information correctly? So, therefore, the way that you appear to other people is that you are losing weight because the energy is being distributed
Right. And
correctly.
that's what I'm like saying. We'll have that heavy carbon
Yeah.
energy, or I call it the pigpen aura. And so now it's getting more into alignment where
Mm.
it feels like, and that's what I'm like saying, we have these blocks or these energies. And so as I'm continually healing myself, I'm releasing these old programmings, energies that are
Exactly.
going on, which appear more light codes or photons in our body.
Right.
And our photons are like, I forgot the 2.6 whatever it is. The more photons, the more light that we emanate. And that's
Right.
what people you'll get around people and they'll feel dark, or they'll feel heavy, or they'll feel resistance, or whatever it is going on.
Right.
I just thought I'd tell you that.
You brought up numbers and you just reminded me of something else today. So, there was an earthquake. I got a phone call from my sister. Okay. Now, my sister Marianne, she's my baby sister, and I love her to death, but sometimes she's so goofy. She really is. You think I'm goofy, you ain't seen nothing yet. So she calls me, and I'm out with JR. I had to get some laundry done, so we went out to get some laundry done, and she calls me at exactly like 10:20, maybe 10:25 or close to 10:30, and she goes, "Oh my God, did you feel that? Did you feel that?" Did I feel what? Mary, what? Start at the beginning and tell me what's going on. And she's like, the earthquake. I'm sitting on the toilet and there was an earthquake. I says, well, was it a lot of problem to get this out? I mean, do you need me to work with you on a diet? And she goes, no, it was an earthquake. An earthquake. I said, Mary, I didn't feel anything. She goes, yeah, there was an earthquake. I think I'm going crazy. So she started posting this on Facebook that there was this earthquake and she couldn't figure it out because as far as she knew, she was the only one that felt it. But because we didn't feel it here in the east coast of Mass.
Where does she
Uh,
live?
she lives in Rhode Island, so it was actually in New Jersey. So New Jersey isn't that far from like Rhode Island. She's another state over, my sister. So she actually felt the earthquake. It was actually a 4.7. So when you mentioned the numbers, you reminded me of that. So it was like a 4.7, and they said it was 5 kilograms deep. So she actually felt it in Rhode Island. She says the whole house shook like you wouldn't believe. So, I mean, that's like the second one we've had in my lifetime. The first one we had was out here in New Bedford, but um, oh, we didn't feel it here at all. So I guess it depends on where the tectonic plates are, Titanic, whatever, where the plate shift thing is.
Right. I
Wait,
was in
yeah,
the I was in the 80. This is one of my lessons I learned.
yeah.
This was all part of my journey where a friend of mine and I we went to Santa Cruz the day before the earthquake. He didn't want to get out of the car.
Ah,
I had all these people that I was friends with. I did tarot readings on Telegraph Avenue in Berkeley.
right,
I was at a pinpoint where I was deciding which direction to go. To over to the friend's house, which ended up being really crowded, or my apartment in Berkeley.
right.
And right when I got to my apartment in Berkeley, it the earthquake happened.
Oh, wow.
And my whole thing was holding down the TV. Some of the thing happened, but now I go where my statement is, and this could be part of what our subject is. I go where the wind takes me, and the wind
Right.
might change within a dime. As
Exactly.
far as
Yeah,
you sit there, do I want to go left? Do I want to go right? Do I want to feel
exactly.
this? And then you go into feeling which directions you go to. And that was kind of like my lesson on that. So now I found out when things stand still, I'm supposed to hold out as to something else is coming that I'm supposed to go into,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
So,
So just to bring you guys up for anybody that was involved in the earthquake that did feel it, I know it's not a major earthquake compared to what they have in California, but it still can cause disruption.
yeah, it's
So
still energy.
yeah, so
That's
I
it.
really hope that everybody is okay, and Modest Monica S over on YouTube as well. And hey, Linda, how you doing? Hoping all friends and family are doing okay after today. Yeah, I didn't feel it here. My sister felt it in Rhode Island. My other sister that lives in Dartmouth, Mass, that's one of the areas, was Dartmouth, Westport. They felt it, but we didn't feel it down here. I'm really close to the ocean here. So I didn't feel a thing, not a thing. So just figured I would say, I hope that everybody that did feel the effects of it are doing okay today, and now have your balance on. You're doing your balancing act much better now. Okay, okay, okay. I don't know who wound me up today, Marcy. I have no idea. I've been
You,
like this all day, whacked out, weird.
well, it's okay, and that's why I found out I got hyper. So I'm floating in and out where I fall
Yeah.
asleep and then I wake up. You know,
It takes a while. My mother was on thyroid meds, but
yeah,
she actually balanced it out and ended up having more energy when she did find it out. So
yeah.
things,
And
yeah,
that's
it comes.
that's why I
Yeah,
thought it was interesting with the reading about the mistrust. So again, these
right,
layers of energies and healings of
exactly,
these circumstances of my body that are
right.
now, I guess, catching up to me. Where
Exactly. So what it is when we're talking about like success and our fears, what do fears have to do with our success? Believe it or not, a lot.
they do,
A lot. Because mental blocks, when you're starting out your goal for success, okay, what happens is sometimes these goals that we create will be outside of our comfort zone. And this happens a lot of times. So, what does that create? Fear. What is this fear, guys? This fear is a learned behavior. That's what this is. We've learned, especially when we're going out against our own comfort zones and we're setting goals to do things, we are actually, by without even realizing it, we're setting ourselves up for this slight bit of fall or withdrawal. Why? There's a lot of reasons, But one of the main reasons here is because we're creating it. The fear that we have of moving forward is creating this in our minds, in our energy,
Hey,
in our
Susan?
thought patterns.
Susan?
Yes.
Okay, because I read books on money and how to attract,
Yeah.
and fear is actually lack of love. And when we're
Sometimes,
ready
yeah.
to accept, subconsciously, we our energies block as far as love and or money. And so it's learning to accept. Love is a learned behavior. Money is a learned behavior.
All right.
As to unfamiliar, it's like, or I don't deserve this. Or, and those are layers and layers and layers I've had to do. And
Exactly. Exactly. That's what we're talking about here. When I talk success, I'm not just talking about money. I'm not just talking about monetary success. I'm talking in general. Like you have a goal. Okay, you have a good example. You have a fear of a dentist, okay? And you want to go to the dentist to have your teeth fixed, but you have this fear. This fear that you have stems from somewhere. Okay. So it became what is known as a learned behavior because the moment you start to head into that direction with that dentist, you want to succeed. You want to get this done. You want your teeth fixed. You want that success of saying, yes, I did this. I could do it. But that fear and that stress comes up. And that is a learned behavior that comes from exactly what Marcy was talking about, your past. You
it,
create these things. That's
it,
exactly it.
and it was funny because when I was on Arenum, and there was Amy that was a client, but she ended up channeling Elohim.
Mhm.
And I'd gotten a big inheritance from my uncle. And I was doing like minor bet. And my guides, I'm sitting there having discussions with my guides at the casino. They're doing max bet. And I'm like, I don't want to do max bet.
Mhm.
And so Amy, when she was channeling, she goes, you're not listening to him. And so even though we may feel like we have the money, or we have, there's still deep layers upon layers of whether our childhood or whether our subconscious or whether our
Mhm.
programming with our family or whatever these things about that we got, it affects our energy. And as we get more and more aligned, we get more and more synchronized as to what we need, what we want, what's there. But it's a lot of deep rooted. I don't deserve this, you know.
Exactly,
I'm
because what it
unworthy.
is this like this learned behavior creates what is known as mental blockage. So mentally, you are actually blocked. And what are you doing except working towards success? You're actually setting yourself up for failure. Even though you go out, say again, we'll take the dentist. You take the dentist, you make the appointments, you have every intention of going. I'm going to do this. I'm going to succeed. I'm going to get through this. And then when you get there, you're like, oh, no, 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 no. I can't. I got to go. I got to go. Nope, nope. Don't touch me. I got to go. So automatically, because that's what you're used to, you're setting your mental facets up, are already anxious, and they haven't even done anything yet. Again, I'm just using the dentist. This is setting you up from a fear, like an individual who has fear of dogs. One dog bit them. So now either every dog or only that dog breed is vicious and bad because of the experience that they've had. They've automatically reprogrammed it, create a mental block, and not able to move forward. That's what's happening.
Well,
So
you've got to, and it's also familiar. I remember when I was reading John, I forgot his John some or other. He, I learned a lot from him, but he puts family with familiar, and also it's like when something subconsciously on our programming, our body will reject it because it's unfamiliar, and so you've got to break through the walls to
exactly.
like the familiar is successful instead of
Exactly.
like I'm afraid or this isn't normal or what. And so there's levels upon levels upon levels of what it has to
Exactly.
do with, or you attract those type of people that are around you because you got to see who your group is. And so as you're around that, you're going to attract certain people that resonate that certain vibration also. And
Yes.
so you work through
Because,
that
yeah.
energy. You got to, other than that, then you get to the point where it's like, I don't match you anymore.
So
And
what's happening is that, and again, what we're doing in layman's terms is we are avoiding anything new. And when I
right,
mean by
I'm
anything
familiar.
new, okay, you go in, you sit down, you get this feeling, yes, I did it, I succeeded, I sat through it, I didn't like drop dead over here, I didn't do this. So this learned type behavior, you succeeded, you made it through that, if you get it through. Now, okay, so now what is the success part? Okay, you don't have that toothache anymore, you don't have a stomach ache anymore, you don't have these bad chemicals, say, in your mouth going down. What is that same thing? Retrospect with a dog. You finally, even though you have this fear of one breed or all dogs, you've discovered, wow, this dog is actually pretty cool and fun and likes to be loved and snuggled. And so what we're doing is that fear is what's stopping us from succeeding in any goal we put forward to ourselves. So it's trying to redo this, to rename this, to get like Marcy is saying, the meshing the energy. So what we're trying to do is realign our own energy so we have that ability to move forward, right?
Right. And
Wow, Friday nights is such a dead night sometimes.
well, and again, it's just a lot of that. We don't know what our programming is or what the messages are growing up. And a lot of it is unspoken. And a lot of it is telepathy. And a lot of it is survival. And so we pick up those cues because they're normal. And so you've got to, like, that's not my belief system. Or I am releasing this blockages, or see what images or hear or feel, whatever those suppressions are. And then shining that vibration, the only way I could put it, as to attracting to be more synchronized and stuff.
Exactly. See, Marcy's handing the spiritual side.
You're doing the
Excuse me,
psychological.
I'm doing the psychological because I do have a degree in holistic psychology. So that's basically what I'm talking about. So I'm taking the technical side. Marcy's going to put it in spiritual terms. So this way, you guys are all covered, all set. So here's an idea. Talking from a holistic standpoint, and then Marcy can reword it in the spiritual terms to help you guys with your spiritualness. Okay. So, what it is they are suggesting, okay, what it is you need to rename your goals. Okay. When you are setting goals, rename it. Instead of calling it goals, call it destination success. Because what are you doing? You're trying to get to a certain destination, a certain emotional standpoint. That is what we're trying to do, where it has like no fear, no stress, no mental blocks. So you're trying to reach a certain destination within your own mind, in your own being. So it's destination success.
I well, it's like as I've been working on my journey, I will see sometimes where I'm in a river and I'm in a canoe, and then as I'm getting stronger, it'll be like a big power boat, or
Yep.
like I will see like a big ship. I mean, like right before I won, I would see waves of money coming in,
Right.
and then flowing it in, and the visualize as to whatever it is going on. So if we have blocks, or we're seeing, it's like we blow them up, and we deprogram whatever it is that was going on and
Exactly.
visualize the bigger boat, the more money, or let it flow in as far as whether mental, emotional, psychological, fire, whatever is
Exactly.
going on.
Exactly.
And once you
So
create
what about writing it down, like talking from a spiritual standpoint? See, it works for holistic psychology. Let's see if it works spiritually as well.
I know,
I some of my clients, I tell them to write it down on a piece of paper. Go somewhere you've never been, fold it into a paper airplane, throw it where it lands, bury it, never go back there. What you're doing is you're leaving the negativity some other place to be recycled. And by not going back there, you're taking your power back by not reliving the memories. Now, I don't know if something like that would work in like a spiritual standpoint.
well, I read somewhere, and I've tried this. I'll get numbers down, or I'll get automatic writing. But this one lady that won the lottery, I think she wrote down an amount and stuck it, folded it up, and stuck it under her pillow. Because we're in our dream state, that's where we're most aware, or we're working through the energies. I got to hit a tone because all of a sudden, I guess we got to clear out because I'm
Awesome.
in mid sentence, and then I hear them going, ah.
Hey, lady, listen. No.
But it's almost like I could feel like they're telling me like there's blocks in people, and the
Yes,
tones will help release that frequency that goes on, um, to allow it's when we're in kind of like in the neutral state
excuse me.
of our body. Oh, we're starting up, huh?
Yep,
When we're in our neutral state, we'll get visions. It's like try to lay still, or
exactly,
try to be in the dark, or try to let the things float. And like Bashar says, we could take anything and turn it into negative or positive. It's all up to us.
exactly.
What
Yep.
did I learn? What is energy? I got to hit the tones because it's not me. All right. That one was interesting.
I like that one.
Yeah, your whole body's like.
I swear to God, I haven't even had that much coffee today. I'm hyper because I'm starting to get stuff done. I'm starting to,
You're trying
oh, it's
to
like
let
get this done, that done, one thing at a time
you
versus
want
trying
to
to,
move that lethargic energy, or that repression. I got to hit a low note. And remember, the low notes are the survival. They're the earth. They're
right,
that lower vibration that goes on, and that releases that I can't do this, or I don't deserve this, or I mean, there's a lot of unprogramming I had to do because growing up, my father told me I would be nothing but a immigrant worker. I was stupid. I was a pig. All these like subconscious. And my parents had decided that I didn't know how to handle money. That's their reality. And when
right,
people dump stuff on you, you got to say, that's not my belief system, or I'm going to blow up this energy,
right.
and open up the energy as to what's going on. I heard one of my guides saying correct, but that was interesting. So I'm going to hit one more low tone, and I don't know
Okay,
if anybody's feeling that energy releasing, but like I said, it's an emotional weight, and as you clear out more and more, things happen. You know, you'll connect with people at that vibration that they may have money. You may not connect with them when you're at that lower vibration because you don't match. So as you clear that energy, or you may outgrow people, you know,
it happens.
I know, to me, over and over and over again. Oh, yeah. I don't know if it's like somebody's energy, but it's like the sound of mud moving, like gurgling, and that's that stuck energy.
After the earthquake, the only thing I hear is mudslide. I'm sorry.
So
Yeah.
now they want me to do a high tone. It's all balance. It's the earth and the cosmos. It's your guides being able to come in, and it's like if you're in that low energy, they can't contact you,
Mm,
because they don't deal with low energy. So as you
exactly.
clear out more and more, all of a sudden, like mine tell me all the time, like I was playing last week, and they're like, "Oh, play $3," and I'm like, "I don't want to do it," but I or 240, and I played $3, and I won like $5,000.
Right.
You know, so if you're open, you'll get insights. You don't know why you're doing it, but don't think about it, because part of being intuitive is once you've thought about it, you've lost it. So just if you feel like going right, go right. There may be somebody there or a situation or whatever it is that's going on.
Yeah. I'm, I'm going to burp again.
It's okay. We're releasing.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta hit a high note. So it's almost like the balance of the earth and cosmos and getting that aligned or getting that balanced or getting that released
Oof.
or getting that open. I got to burp too. I don't know if it's like your energy, Susan, but I'm hearing this.
No, could be somebody in the chat. There's not that many people in the chat today, but there was like an earthquake and this event's happening this weekend. So, all right. So what I want to do is I want to ask you guys some questions. Okay. And this is how to find out whether or not you psychologically put up a block. This is what it is. So I'm going to ask you guys some questions I normally do quiz if I'm actually doing counseling. Now, do you get started on a program or a project, then quit? I don't know if anybody's going to answer these because, like I said, there's not that many people in here today. But that's okay. They'll listen to it later. Now, if you say yes to this is determination and/or tendencies need strengthening. So what we're doing is we're pulling back to what part of yourself needs to be strengthened. And people are saying, "Oh my God, what are you talking about?" Sometimes, right? That has to do with your tendencies. You need to strengthen your tendencies, which there is a way to actually do this. All right. Now, if you say, do you believe you cannot devote the time you needed to accomplish your goals? Is that a yes? Give them a couple minutes. If that's a yes, I need the top of my pen wand here. All right. No, sometimes I will put things off, but I'm feeling pretty good about good. The yes for that one has to do with your determination and you're needing strength. So you need to strengthen your determination. Now, do you quit after a while because you just can't see yourself succeeding? If that is a yes, you need to strengthen your faith. So, what we're doing is we're breaking down your fear into 4 different categories. And this helps you pinpoint a little bit more psychologically about what's going on. Now, no, good. Was that a no? 50-50 on that one. Okay. So maybe your faith has to be strengthened a little bit. Now, do you think, let's see, do you think this goal is pretty important? Whatever the goal is that you set yourself, is it extremely important?
Hey, Susan,
Yes.
I read something, and this is what gets me motivated a lot of times. There was a hypnotist that was on TV, and he said to get somebody to quit something, 90% is passionate, 10% is intellectual. So it's like if I want to go to the store, I'll get the chocolate bar along with getting the milk. So
Right.
if you look at what your passion is,
Yeah.
you'll get more motivated to do stuff
It, yes.
compared to intellectualize like stop
Exactly.
smoking a cigarette. You've got to find what drives you. What is your energy that goes on, and then your body will be more motivated as to what it needs. And
It,
also, they say the difference between work and stress, when you do what you love, it's passion. When you don't do what you want to do, it's stress. And
right.
so I've done a lot of healings in toxic environments, where the other people, there's negativity around them, and then
Right.
they're going to get sick or diseased or whatever is going on. So if you look at these cues as to what is my passion, what is motivate, kind of, that's why I was like thinking about that when you said that.
Yeah. So let me just finish this real quick. If you do think your goal is only pretty important, then you need to work on your strengthening. But if it's extremely and mega important that you get it done, you're fine. But if it's only on pretty important, your enthusiasm needs to be strengthened. So, what we're actually talking about right now is you becoming a little bit aware about what it is you need to strengthen within your own willpower. This psychologically helps you overcome fear. It
Passion.
becomes right. The fear of success is what it is that we're talking about. So there are like I said, four different categories in this. And this is how you determine which part of this is mostly your fear, because sometimes it's difficult to remember our fear, remember like the memory of it, but a lot of times we can pick up on the emotional aspect of it, like Marcy would pick up on the energy part of it, and right now I'm just dealing with that. So this is what we need to do. We need to work on that. All right, so you need to again make the priorities of what it is that we need to work on. So if you need to strengthen your enthusiasm, exactly as Marcy said, do something or set the first couple of goals or destination success is what we're going to call them that you work on. Make it something you're extremely passionate about. Make it something that you really want to figure out, you really want to do. That's going to help you succeed. Like, say, if you want to finish a book and you're only into comic books, find a comic book, read the whole thing. Boom, you finished a book. That's destination success. So this is part of it that we're actually talking about. In a couple of minutes, we're going to let Marcy talk here because what we're going to be working a little bit on is recalling something you have done that you have succeeded on. We're going to work on pulling those emotions up. I don't know how that would be done in energy wise.
Well, it's like there's a difference between living and existing. And
Right,
so when we're living, we're not attracting those situations that are going on. And we're back to that passion. The whole passion is living. And
right,
so we exuberate in our energy level a certain vibration. We come alive. People will pick up on it. They don't know why they want to be it. And other times you'll be around people and they'll walk away because you're like, oh, poor me, or I'm not doing this, or whatever it is that's going on.
right,
And so, again, back to you. you've got to come alive. I had to let go of a lot of people because even though I was around them or they were brought up with money, but they were brought up survival, it got to the point where I was at, it was unfamiliar to them because I had outgrown that energy. And I'm like, I don't match you anymore. Or you're going to play these power trips. I'm not going to play them.
Right.
And so as you take back your power, you will shift that whole energy vibration. And I tell people, it's like you walk with the presence. This is who I am. This is what I'm about. It's like before you even say hello, your presence speaks to other people. And
Right.
so they will feel your low energy or the hunter or the hunted. And if you come in, and a lot of times you may intimidate people because this, as you own that energy and you train yourself to own that energy,
Exactly.
because 7% of communication is verbal. There's eye contact, there's tone of voice, there's energy exchange, there's all these different things
Mm-hmm.
as you walk in the room. And also, there's another line that I like. That's like some people come from strength and some people come from power. And the people that come from strength, they're loud, they're obnoxious, they have to be center of attention. They're dramatic. It's like,
Right.
then there's people that come from power. They'll stand in a room and they'll just have a presence. That was going on. My sister's an artist, but she thought she was like some spiritual person, but
Right.
she's a narcopath. And we had a family reunion one time, and I was kind of quiet. And I hadn't seen any of those cousins. They were my mom's sisters who died. So my
Right.
sister was going around going, "Oh, I do numerology, I do whatever it is that's going on." I
Right.
didn't say anything at all. My aunt, who had been doing the readings since I was, starting this, they're like, "Marcy, bring out your cards." They're like, "Oh, I thought she was it." They said, "No." My aunt's like, "No, Marcy's the one that's it." So as you watch, you'll feel that energy, you'll feel that presence, own it, and people will sense it.
Right. Right. So what I want you guys to do is I had a thought. Hold on. Oh, there it is. All right. So what I want you guys to do is I want you right now to remember, all of us. I want all of us to remember one instance where you actually had a slight fear, but you succeeded. I don't care what it was. If you're agoraphobic and you stepped outside your door, that's momentum. Whatever it is that you succeeded on, I want you to recall that memory right now. You don't have to tell me what it is, but I want that memory in you. I want you to recall it. Now that you have that memory within you, I want you to remember the emotion and that feeling you had when you accomplished that. How awesome did it feel to do that? That feeling, that emotion. I succeeded. I did this. Destination success. That's what it was. What made you do that? What made you go through to that point? How did you, when we have all these programs in our head that tell us automatically we're going to be stressful or fearful or all this, what caused you to be able to succeed right there? You have the emotion of the access after. Bring yourself a little forward, a little back to just before you started. Even though you had that slight fear, what was that little boost? What was that little psychological push that you needed to help you move forward? What was that one piece that helped you? Huh? It's like riding. Okay, we have some from Linda here. Linda says it's like riding the top of a wave. The end result was more important than my fear. Yes. Procrastination. I had visions. Right. And that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. It is like riding a wave. Like a surfboard is how he says. Riding the cosmic surfboard is what it is. It's like that. So if we have that one mental image, okay, we did this. Okay, so that was a success right there. Now, are we creating the stress by making what it is that we're going for too large? Psychologically, that does happen. What we need to do is piecemeal. Like a lot of people say one day at a time. When you lose someone, it's one day at a time. Like with Marcy, just recently, as a matter of fact, when she went through the diabetes, and I freaked out and thought she was dying in the hospital. So literally, I did. By the way, ask Howie. I was so upset that day.
I'm not losing you.
I was so upset that day. So it was like, damn. So, but it's a process. Yeah, I'm sure that she was afraid when it first started to happen, but she's succeeding at it. She is completing her goals by doing what she needs to do for her health.
Hey, Susan,
And that's what it is.
one of the things that I read is everything is yin and yang. So when you talk about the waves, the yin is bringing on the wave. The yang
Okay.
is letting it go. So we need to bring it in, do that male female energy, yin and
Yep.
yang, bring it in. Like all of a sudden, every time when I read about Bashar and everything, it's like you take that farm and you let it go, you know, because when you hold on to it, then you get stuck in that energy.
Exactly.
So, like I said, I had that way, that the visions of me riding those waves, and then I won,
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly.
and I took it as a grain of salt. I didn't know I was going to win. I was down on my money, and then all of a sudden, it just my
Fell into
guides are like,
place. Yeah,
yeah.
fell
And
into
also,
place.
it's like
Yeah.
another thing that may or may not go with all this stuff is I read that when we procrastinate, we're not on the grid. When it's all of a sudden, I need to do this now. You
Exactly.
don't know why. There's and so go in with, if it doesn't feel right, like there's times I'm at a standstill. I'll like, I want to do this, I want to do that, and I'll feel this. No, I'm not supposed to go anywhere. And then something else will come in. So start using everything's in an instinct. Does this feel right? Listen to your body. Do I get a stomach ache? Does
Right.
that not feel right? Or am I impulsively ready to go to where I'm supposed to go? And then I meet somebody or a situation happens. And so we're very intuitive. We were brought up to be very intuitive. Animals are very intuitive.
Right.
And so get back to that muscle of going into it or letting it go or feeling the block or whatever it is that's going on.
Exactly. Now, somebody in here, hey, Howie, how you doing? Hello, Michelle. So, Monica S says, usually life moves too fast. You just naturally navigate to every stress and situation, act and react. True. The idea of this is to reprogram how you react and how you act. Like a good example would be some individuals are really good in a crisis. A crisis falls, they don't fall apart, they act. Their reaction comes later. I'm one of those. I will sit there. If something major happens, I will take care of anything that needs to be done. I'll just act. I'll do this. I'll do that. That one's safe. That one's done. When everything's said and done, then I go, I react, fall apart. That's it. The emotion comes through. So action and reaction, yes. Okay. I know for a fact, and the dentist person is me, by the way. I have a fear of a dentist. I know why. And I've already made one successful appointment. So I have gotten that destination success where I want to succeed on the rest of it. So, yes, I do understand that. But with me, I have a natural reaction the moment the sounds come in or the smells come in. So if the bad negative memories are coming up, and then Marcy can go into the psychological, the spiritual side of this in a minute. But when the negative memories are coming up that are having that fear coming up and that stress coming up, and you have that coming, what do? Well, for me, I bring headphones. My dentist knows I won't go sit in that chair without the headphones. Okay. Now, I also have like little spritz I put underneath my nose. So when I'm smelling, that's all I'm smelling. So if my trigger point is the sound and the smell, then I have that covered. So then I should have that ability to be able to conquer that rather than make it a goal and make it more of a destination success. Now that's psychologically, but spiritually.
Well, spiritually, it's like when we react to something, it's from the past.
Right.
And so we need to look at, was I hurt as a child? Was I bit as a child? And then go back to when we learn to respond, we're much more calmer as to what's been going on. It's like I was texting with my daughter and she's like, well, what's your responsibility? And I don't know if she was talking to a therapist, and she's like, well, how would you have changed things? And it took me a lot. Are you laughing?
I'm like, you can't go back in time. I don't understand. People say, how would you change things that didn't go that way? So
Well, she
why go back
wanted
in
me to
time?
own whatever mistakes. So
Yeah.
it took me a long time. That's why it felt right, that whole swimming around about the victim mentality. But I stood back and I was calmer. I'm like, okay, I regret. It's like these different people that were going on.
Right.
But I was in a calmer state where it wasn't like, well, you did this and this and this. So I
Yeah.
stood back and I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, I regret whatever. She thanked me at the end,
Right.
what was going on. And I may not hear from her ever again, but I am complete within myself.
Because
I
you've
responded.
spiritually healed.
I did, huh?
You spiritually healed.
I feel like I did. And even with that aura photography, I was
Yeah.
like almost done with like the bars going all the way across. And
Right.
again, it's funny with all this diabetes, the thyroid, and it's like, okay, this stuff makes sense. All this stuff is catching up to me. I'm going to work through it. What are you laughing about?
Howie, he says, Linda says, riding the wave. We surf that bad boy.
You do.
Yeah.
And visualize yourself surfing and visualize the money coming, because before even things happen, we have to visualize, like a lot of athletes visualize, because our subconscious doesn't know the difference. And
And that's
it's
where,
got to be familiar.
exactly, bingo, Marcy. That is where um, holistic counseling and spirituality are so connected, because you have to picture yourself and feel that emotion of that success and what you're going to feel like after your destination is met. Spiritually, it's very, very similar, because there's like manifesting, shadow work, which is just different terms depending on whether we're talking the holistic side or the spiritual side. But guess what? They mesh.
Well, and also there's many dimensions. So you may work out, like I remember reading about our different dimensions, and we may work out something in our first dimension.
Right.
Um, I don't know why it's like I feel like whatever the energy is. Um, so we may work out something on our third dimension, but we have to go back to our first dimension.
Exactly.
Oh, my body is like, I don't know, stuff surfacing. I don't know what's going on.
You belching?
Oh,
Up there she goes. Yes. Howie loves surfing analogy. Yes, it's true. And that's what it is. And I think that's why Howie says that. Life is like surfing. You literally just have to surf through life and learn to, enjoy it and navigate the waves.
well, yin and yang.
Yes, exactly. Exactly like that. So, and that's like retaining the memories from the success. You okay there, Mousy?
I don't know. It's like this burping or release it. I don't know what's going on, but you go ahead and talk. I don't
Okay.
know if the stuff is coming up. I don't know what.
All right.
I have
I'll keep.
medication. I don't know what's going on.
All right. How's your sugar?
The sugar's fine.
Okay. All right. It could be the medication. The new medication, you have to take it a certain way. I can't remember if my mother said no food or food. I don't know. It upset her stomach if she didn't do it right.
No,
The
I'm
thyroid
fine
one.
either way on that. I take everything in the morning,
Yeah.
but I've got to take all these um, antibiotics for my foot.
Yeah,
So
that's probably could be. Could
I
be the
could be kind of
antibiotics. Yeah.
energy with people. I never
Yeah.
know. My
Yeah.
son would burp when we would be driving around stuff. Maybe stuff
I
was.
burp every time we have a show.
I
All
know.
right. So, what I want you guys to do, I want you to remember 10 destination successes that you've had, small ones. I sat in a dental chair. That's amazing for me.
Susan, I'll be
I
right back.
let them
I'll
take
go to the
x-ray.
bathroom.
All right. You okay?
Yeah, I'm
All right.
good.
All right.
Body might be releasing. We're all doing our
Okay.
own therapy. It's
Yep.
surfacing. You
Okay.
never know.
Scream if you need me. I'll hear you.
I know.
So we need to remember the little things that we have been through, the little itty successes that you have. Do you want us to list them here? If you would like to, go ahead. My fear is a dentist. I will tell you guys, I'm petrified of a dentist because of an incident that happened when I was a little girl. The first success I had was because of the man I loved. And the reason I succeeded because of him is because out of everybody in my life, he's the first one that actually treated me like I was gold. So I didn't want to disappoint him. So that overrode the fear. So that's when I started. I didn't want to disappoint. I didn't want to disappoint. So the 10 things, remember those emotions. Little things, little things. And again, it's not a goal. It's called destination success. Every time we list like goal, like, oh, New Year's, these are my resolutions. This is what I'm going to do. Nobody ever completes those. I'm sorry. It's like, forget it, because they're unrealistic goals. Start with something small. I did. I went to the dentist and sat in the waiting chair. That was my first destination, and I succeeded. Next destination was getting up and going in the office and sitting. I
Baby
did
steps.
that. Exactly. Baby steps. Writing my book, working through fear and flying. Ooh, consistencies with fitness, learning new cooking techniques, becoming a meat cutter. Let's see, in the world where women weren't good, finishing high school early, good, supporting myself through high school, getting a job of public speaking. Awesome. Awesome. Fear of flying, I still have to get to that. But see, those are things you've already accomplished. So, Lindy, you have accomplished so much already. You should literally, that emotion that you feel right now should be amazing. Wow, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did that. Me, I'm excited. I actually drove to the dentist and sat in the waiting chair.
Well, also,
That's that was momentum.
you need to reward yourself each time you do something, whether it's your inner child or whether it's post traumatic.
Yes,
You need to give back that love. Like, I did this, because if you don't feel like it's worth it,
exactly.
you're like, well, what the hell? So if you go reward yourself every little thing, and you got to do is emotion, which is motion, that
Exactly.
energy or feelings or whatever that are going in. Either we decline or whatever the word is, we go up or we go down. We're always in motion.
Yes. So she's done all these things and she bought herself flowers. Well, I bought myself light pink hair dye that's vegan, of course. It washes out, so I could put pink strips in the front of my hair as a reward. And I will slowly add a strip in my hair for every time I complete a goal. So this way I can shine to the world that I have completed this many goals. But I am weird like that, and I love that. So I figured that would be good. And I'll start off with one and I'll work my way up from there. So, and that's a reward. I like being goofy. And Marcy's so used to me being goofy and silly now.
I like goofy. I've been brought up goofy all my life, and and those are the happy memories, the laughing,
Yeah,
the joking,
exactly.
whatever it is that's going on. You get more motivated on those times of laughter or energy that's happening.
Exactly. Ooh,
And
suspicious connection blocked. I love this program.
what does it say?
Oh, there was somebody trying to connect to my computer and it won't work.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got there again. Continued. We continue blocking specific. Yeah. So I've got a virus program on here that takes care of that, and that's what it is. Reward yourself. Me, I like to be bold when I reward myself because that's who I am. I mean, look at me. I'm almost 59 years old, and I got 2 goofy pigtails on the side of my hair, and you know what? I like it.
Well, we need to have our
And
inner
and
child
here you go,
first.
guys. Ah, mystery
Well, look
machine.
at me. I've got. You
Oh,
see,
look, Looney Tunes. Scooby Doo.
I got Scooby Doo, and it's so funny. I got that during COVID, and all these, and it had a mask to go with it.
Yep.
And these people walk up, and they say, "Oh, I love your shirt," and they're all like superpowers. So this is kind of like us,
Yes, it is
with
because
all our fist up. We're
exactly.
like all different, but we're like
Yes,
fighting.
you know why? Because Scooby Doo fears ghosts, but he still is always there to help, to do what he has to do. So, what is he doing? He has destination success. And in college, I wrote a paper why Scooby Doo, a fictional character, was my hero. Do you know that I got an A+ on that? Yeah, my whole bedroom is Scooby Doo related. I love Scooby Doo, and that's what it is. There's nothing wrong with that. Be cool with who you are and just enjoy that emotion. Reward yourself. Hey,
Well,
maybe I'll get a new
also,
Scooby Doo
Susan, the
thing.
more we're our authentic self, this is who we all are.
Exactly.
The more things will be aligned to
Exactly.
us. It's like, oh, what will people
Exactly.
think? You know, it's like these people are. Why do you care what these people think? Are they helping you? And you've got to stop worrying about that and just do whatever you have, and then you'll exuberate that energy that's happening, and then the right people will come to you, and the other people they'll fade away.
Exactly. It just reminded me of something. I know it's 8:03 already, but I just had a memory. I can't remember if it was my grandmother or my mother. She would look at me and she goes, "Is that one paying you rent?" My grandmother. "You
Right.
getting rent from that one?" "No, why?" "Then why are you allowing him to rent space in your head if he ain't paying?" So, and it didn't dawn on me at the time what she meant. I'm like, "Okay, Nance." I never understood it until I was older. And that's exactly it. Or I think it was my mother that used to say, "Not your monkey, not your circus."
I got rid of all my monkeys. I just didn't have time for them.
Did they take off to another circus?
I don't
All right,
know.
guys. So if Marcy has any last minute words here, you going potty again?
No, I'm getting my shoes. I gotta go to the casino and go play and get my coffee grinder. Or that's all my motivation. I'm gonna do one more tone to help release people's energies
All
because the
right.
stuff will surface.
Remember, guys, small goals. That's what I want you to do. Small destination
All right, I'm gonna hit
successes.
a tone and hopefully this will release. Listen to your body. If you feel like eating chocolate, eat chocolate. If you feel like eating meat, eat meat. Your body will tell you. That was a good
All
one.
right, guys. guys. So that
All right,
was
much love,
awesome.
everybody.
So good night, everybody. I want to say thank you so much for tuning in. And don't forget, tune in every Friday. You'll get your psychological and your psychic help here. Yeah, the one that with the degree in counseling
Balance.
is crazy.
There goes my birthday.
Yay! She just
Yay,
released
came
up.
out.
She'll
All
win
right, see
big.
you later.
Bye. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I have no idea what the show will be next week, but we will figure it out. And don't worry about it. We can get into some more psychological aspects to help you release and go through the psychological aspect of it as well. And as usual, if you do need help with something else, please feel free to contact me anytime you want. You can go right over to the Rift Nation Network. Contact me there. And don't forget to stay tuned to all the shows on the Rift Nation Network. Now I have to remember which one is the out one. Peace.